Hi there, strikers. There's something uniquely disturbing about people vanishing into thin air. Read about these incredibly strange, unsolved cases. Although these disappearances span centuries, locations, age ranges, and circumstances, there's one common thread shared between them: a lack of closure. There are theories, speculations, and investigations, but never a decisive answer. On our incoming episode, I'm going to feature some of the cases of mysterious disappearances, of some missing that just disappear without any trace. Disappearance of Mellisa Brannan. She was the 5-year-old daughter of Michael Brannan and Tammy Brannan, a single mother who lived in the complex. She disappeared while attending a party held at the complex for its residents. Caleb Daniel Hughes, a handyman for the complex, was convicted of abduction with the intent to defile and sentenced to 50 years in prison. Her body has never been found, she has never been proven to be dead, and murder charges have never been filed. Mellissa's case is considered an unsolved homicide by local police. On December 3, 1989, a Christmas party, with approximately 100 guests, was taking place at the apartment complex where Tammy Brannan lived with her daughter Mellisa. As they were leaving the party, Mellisa headed back in to get some potato chips and never came back. When she was not found, foul play was suspected. A search began almost immediately, with over 300 volunteers participating. Groundskeeper Caleb Hughes became the prime suspect that very evening through witness accounts. Multiple women reported that Hughes made crude sexual propositions to them during the party, and others reported that Hughes had given unusual levels of attention towards the children at the party, including Mellisa. Police visited his apartment during the night, where Hughes's wife cooperated with police. The entire outfit of clothes Hughes was wearing at the time of the disappearance was found in the Hughes washing machine, including his shoes, with the sides of the soles cut off, possibly to remove blood evidence, his belt and a sheath for a large knife. They had immediately been put there for washing by Hughes himself when he arrived home. Police seized them as evidence. Police also took the red Honda Civic sedan which Hughes owned, and examined the passenger's seat for fiber evidence. A polygraph examiner concluded that Hughes showed evidence of deception when questioned about his role in Mellissa's disappearance. Hughes' wife Carol was key in the investigation. She reported his arrival home from work several hours later than usual, and also that extra mileage was on his car's odometer. Her husband explained the mileage as resulting from a side trip he took to purchase a 6-pack of beer and then taking a longer route home. Hughes never explained why he had driven out of his usual way to come home. In any event, his story was improbable, as he claimed to have gotten home around 12:30 a.m. Liquor stores in Virginia do not sell alcohol past midnight per state regulations. Fibers were extracted from the front seat of the vehicle. The victim had been reported as wearing a Big Bird dress that had been purchased from JCPenney. Investigators obtained an identical dress, and its fibers were compared with those found on the seat of Hughes's car. A match was found between the dress and the fibers in the car. Also found were some hairs from a rare rabbit fur coat, worn by Tammy at the party. This evidence pointed towards the probability the victim had been sitting in the passenger's seat at some point during the evening. Investigators were all but certain Hughes had killed Mellisa. Although Virginia law did not require a body of the victim to file murder charges, the law does require prosecutors to identify the location of the murder. Lacking this evidence, Hughes was charged with kidnapping with intent to defile, kidnapping as a prelude to sexual assault. The fiber evidence was pivotal in establishing this charge, as prosecutors argued that there was no innocent reason to remove the girl's coat in the car and, thus leave the dress fibers. Hughes was convicted of abduction on the 8th of March 1991 and sentenced to 50 years in prison. Two men with no connection to the Brannan cases attempted extortion via a $75,000 ransom demand. The men were arrested collecting the ransom. They were sentenced to 7 years 8 months, and 3 years 10 months. In 1995, a search of a lake was made after a power company worker found some red cloth in the lake. No evidence of a body was found. About 8 years after Brannan's disappearance, her mother remarried. Although she took on the surname of her new husband, Graybill, as her own, she retained the name Brannan in listings so that her daughter, if still alive, would be able to contact her. Graybill has raised 4 stepchildren with her new husband. Caleb Daniel Hughes was released on August 2, 2019, having served 29 years of his 54-year sentence.